Thank you for your support for my channel. Please encourage your friends and to subscribe it for my channel. Today our lesson is going to be about having more than one auxiliary verb in one sentence. For example, we have a subject, then we have auxiliary, then we have a modal, then we have the root of the verb, then we have complement. For example, you do not have to wear a uniform when coming to our college. For example, let's look here. We have a subject, then we have do not, that's auxiliary verb, then we have to, which is a modal, then we have wear, which is the root of the verb, then we have the complement. If we look to the second sentences, Sarah does not have to do the work on Wednesday alone. If we look at the sentences here, Sarah is the subject, does not as the auxiliary, then we have the modal, have to, then we have the root of the verb do, then the complement of the sentences. If we look to the other sentences, I am supposed to be at the college by 11 a.m. today. If we look at the sentence, I have a subject, then I have verb to be, or sometimes we call them be verb, then which is auxiliary verb. Then we have supposed to as a modal, or semi-modal, sometimes we say it. Then we have the be as the root of the verb be. Then the complement of the sentences. If we look at the other sentences here, I am used to work under the pressure when I have to work in a graveyard shift. If we look at the sentences here, I have a subject, I have the auxiliary verb, which is, we call them verb to be or be verb. Then I have used to is the modal, or sometimes we call them semi-modal. Then we have the root of the verb work, and then the other rest of the sentences. If we look to this sentence, I am not able to assist you with your project because I am very busy. If we look to the sentences here, I have a subject, I have auxiliary verb number one, which is I'm not, then I have able to, which is a modal, then we have the root of the verb assist, then the other clause of the sentences. If we look to the sentences, you do not need to come to our office tomorrow unless we call you. If we look to the sentences here, I have you as a subject, then don't as auxiliary verb, then need to as a modal, then come as the root of the verb, then the rest of sentences. If we look to this sentences, all of them here, we have auxiliary verb, then we have a modal. The modal is a part of auxiliary. If we look here, we have as verb to be or be verb, and also we have supposed to as a modal. Here we have be verb is auxiliary, or verb to be is auxiliary, and also modal is also auxiliary. That's the reason we say we have more than one auxiliary verb used in a sentences, which is this one is going to be this is first auxiliary verb, this is the second auxiliary verb, which is a part of the modal, then we have the root of the verb. How to make a modal continue on a continuous situation? We have a subject, then we have the modal, then we use be, or sometimes, because if you remember we said be is also here as could be could be is, could be are, then as a modal, sometimes also could be was or were. Okay, that's the reason sometimes we say be is exchangeable. It means be equal is or was were, or opposite. Then you could say is or was were equal be. Okay, let's take this one out or put between the two brackets, then we know when we have it, we make it model in the continue situation. Then we have the gerund, because if you remember, we said whenever we have amo, is, or was a word, when we have a verb coming after amo, is, or, then has to be ing form. And also you have to remember when we said whatever we have after the modal has to be the root of the verb. That's the reason we change amo, is, or was a word, then we put be. Let's look to the sentences. We have a pronoun, then we have the modal, then we have the be, then we have the gerund or ing form, then we have an object. Let's look to the sentences. If the subject is I, he, she, it, they, we, you, or 1 plus 1, or sometimes called the plural, then we have the auxiliary verb or the modal, shall, then we have the root of the verb, which is be, which in the same time it's amo, is, or was, or were. That's the reason here, this verb, then we have to make it ing form. Then we have the rest of the verb. Let's look to some sentences. We're going to have a better idea how this one is work. For example, we have a subject, then modal, then be, then gerund, then object, then complement. Let's look to the sentences. Sam will be lecturing tomorrow from 9 to 11 a.m. It means the action will be continued only in this time. It means tomorrow only between 9 to 11 a.m. It means the action will continue only in this period of time. Then if we look to the sentences, we have Sam as the subject, then we have the auxiliary verb, or you could call the modal, then we have the root of the verb, which in the same time, if you remember, we said here is going to be is, because to make the sentences to be continued, that we call the modal continued. If we look to make the sentence like question mark, we say, will Sam be lecturing tomorrow from 9 to 11 a.m. then question mark. Let's look to this sentence and the second one. Sam may be working next week from 8 to 11 a.m. Same thing we have here, subject, then may as a modal, then we have a be as the root of the verb that coming after the modal. Then we have working with ing form. Then that's the reason, if you remember, we said Sam is the subject, may is the modal, then I have be here, which is same thing is going to be is. That's the reason we make this one working ing form. Let's look to the sentences how to make it as a question. We say, may Sam be working next week from 8 to 11 a.m. How we make this sentence as modal in the continuing. That's the reason we say here, look from here. Simple present continue. Sam is lecturing tomorrow from 9 to 11 a.m. If you make it modal continue, then we have to mix it those two with simple modal. For example, you could say here modal, simple you could say Sam will lecture tomorrow. You could continue from 9 to 11 a.m. Okay, we have to mix it those two sentences, simple present with the modal, simple modal. Then you have to make it modal in the continue. If we look here, the sentences how we make it, some modal continue, because we have here Sam, then we have Sam, then we just put it here Sam. Then we have here, we have is, we have will, then we have to, because they are two different, then we have to put will first as the modal, then be or is, we put it here, then we change it to be, because we cannot say will is lecturing. That's the reason we put here be is the same thing as is, which is we change it from here, from this one, then we brought it here. Then we say Sam will be lecturing tomorrow from 9 to 11. Okay? Let's look for semi-modals. We have two kinds of semi-modal. Semi-modal as a main verb or as a modal. For example, Sarah dare to. Here is option. You could say Sarah dare argue with the supervisor. Or you could say Sarah dare to argue with the supervisor. If you make a question, we say, dear Sarah, as we said, the to is optional. You could keep it or you could delete it. Argue with the supervisor. If we make it negative, we say, Sarah daren't then argue with the supervisor. Same thing we have here, need. We say, Sam need hear the news. We say, make a question, because we say model. This is my model, and then this is the root of the verb here. Same thing here, we have it there as a model, or could sometimes say semi-modal. Then we say to is optional. Sometimes you could put, or sometimes you could open. It's up to you. Then argue is the root of the verb. If you look back here again, Sam need hear the news. Make it question. Need Sam hear the news. Make it infinitive or negative, sorry. Sam needed not hear the news. Okay, let's continue. If you look to the sentences here, Sarah used to work in holidays. Sarah subject, used to is the modal or semi-modal. Then the root of the verb work. Make it question. Then here we cannot use it used in the beginning, then have to add did. You say, did Sarah used to work in holidays? Then answer it or make it negative. Sarah did not used to work in holidays. The other reason here with used, then we have to deal with it as a regular verb. Then this modal, I cannot put it in the front or make it as a question. Then we use did here. That's the reason we have did here. If you look to this one, next sentences, we ought to book a room to sleep. I have a subject. I have ought to as a modal. Then I have the root of the verb, which is book. If I make a question, ought we. Here, because to is not part, it's a separate part of the modal, then we keep it here. That's the reason we say ought to we to book a room to sleep. Then we make it negative. We say we ought not. Ought not. Then to, then book a room to sleep. Sometimes the same model, sometimes we use it as a main verb. Same thing as we said it here, dare used to, or need, or get used to. For example, Sally dares to challenge the prosecutor. Here it's as a main verb. The other reason we add s to it, because my subject is he or she, is the third person, then I have to add s to it. The other reason here we say does. Does Sally dare to challenge the prosecutor? The other reason, because here, as I said, because there, here is a special, exceptional. The other reason we use does as we deal with dares here as a regular verb. The other reason we use does. Does Sally dare to challenge the prosecutor? Make it negative. Sally doesn't dare to challenge the prosecutor. The other sentences. The manager needs the file. Here as a regular verb, then we have added to Esther because we have the third person as the manager, or he or she could be. Then we say, does the manager need the file? Because I don't have it here auxiliary, then I have to add does to it to make it question. Then we make it negative. Then we say the manager doesn't need the file. Then the last one, we say Sarah is used to the pressure of the work. Because here I have subject, I have auxiliary verb. This is here is working as a regular verb. That's the reason we put ed, because here is gonna be a passive. Is Sarah used to the pressure of the work? Then you could say yes, she is, or Sarah is, or no, she is not. Then make it negative. Sarah isn't used to the pressure of the work. That's the reason we have here we use it negative. Thank you very much for watching the YouTube. Okay, thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.